Man, there is certainly a change in the air when it comes to WWE creative, and it's very noticeable, especially on Monday Night Raw. And I've said this for the last several weeks. Monday Night Raw feels like a completely different show than it was earlier this year. And you saw that, and I've been telling people all you need to do is watch the show. PW Insider is reporting today that Vince McMahon is out and Triple H is in. And Endeavor has knighted Triple H as the man that they want running the creative team. 99.9% of the creative team and the creative direction will be run by Paul Levesque. That is from Endeavor and Ari Emanuel. Obviously, that's great news. We'll talk about that today right here on OTS. An NXT tag team finally is set free, and they will be going back to their old gimmick on the indies. I can't wait to see what the grizzled young veterans, not the dyad, the grizzled young veterans do wherever they go next. And Brian Pillman Jr. is getting a new name before his NXT debut, and a lot of people are upset about it, and I don't really understand why. And that is what we're going to talk about today right here on OTS. Obviously, we're going to start off with the big one. Multiple people in WWE believe that Triple H is now in full control of creative. Vince McMahon not involved in any way anymore. Now, I don't know where all of this came out from. Obviously, we know what Triple H does, how he does it. We know what Vince McMahon does and how he does it. Watch the show. It's very easy to decipher who is who and what is what. I'm not going to go into the whole spiel. We know Vince McMahon stepped down. It's not about a sale of the company. He sold the company because he wanted to weasel himself back into power. We all know this. We all know it. I don't want to repeat myself. You guys know the story. PW Insider is reporting that the word going around WWE is that McMahon is no longer involved with the creative end of things in WWE. Now, it was stated that the belief amongst wrestlers and people in the company is that Paul Levesque has been knighted by Endeavor, and he will be the one driving 99.9% of the creative going forward. That is not 100%. There's that little sliver of a chance Vince McMahon could fuck everything up. Not 100% confirmed by the company, but several people in the company believe this is the case. During the WWE Fastlane post-show press conference, Triple H talked about the positive atmosphere backstage and how everyone is working together to move the company forward. PW Insider confirmed that the atmosphere is great backstage and there are no reports of conflicts. Wait till Phil Brooks gets his grubby little paws into the WWE locker room. I'm only kidding. I'm actually looking forward to that happening. He knows he can't pull this shit again in WWE. Now, Fightful has an update on this update from PW Insider. They say it's worth noting that no one within creative that we've spoken to directly, that worked directly with Vince McMahon in 2023, they told us he did not sit in on creative meetings. Instead, he would usually make remote changes, submit them, which often happen shortly before the show, which we all know. We all know. The most egregious change, or several changes he made, was to the Monday Night Raw after WrestleMania, where it was absolutely a pile of dog shit that I've ever seen. The biggest pile of dog shit that I've ever seen. So that was significant. And it was bad then, and we were all worrying then. Ever since that, the last few weeks, especially the last few weeks, these changes, these late changes have seemed to stop outside of ones that happened due to issues with medical clearances. Now, even then, word was received that McMahon changes existed before then, but were fairly minimal, especially as compared to how things used to be. Well, that's only because Vince McMahon couldn't really go out there and do what he wanted to do because he was waiting for the sale of the company. And he waited for the sale of the company because when that happened, he'd be able to get back into Ultimate Power. But something happened there. Now, I don't want to take my tinfoil hat and put it on like I usually do when I talk about Vince McMahon, but we're going to throw this out there like I threw it out there to you guys last week when we talked about Vince McMahon. I genuinely believe that this man is being set up for a downfall. I do. I don't know what's going on. He's got a warrant out for his arrest. He's got the feds after him. Something's going on there, man. There was a whole nother article by Axiom, I believe, or Axios, whatever, some publication talking about how he's got all of his shares and that he's ready to put all of his shares up for sale, and that Endeavor is really kind of guarding themselves against Vince McMahon. And they came out as a company and basically stated that, yeah, we know Vince McMahon is a detriment to the company and our business finances. They willingly admitted that. So people were taking that and that report as, oh my God, Vince is on his way out. It was at that time I said, somebody is leaking something, somebody with close ties to Vince, and they're setting this guy up. Now, he couldn't do what he wanted to do because he was still under investigation and he was waiting for the sale of the company. Sale of the company happened. He has a boss now in Ari Emanuel, but Ari told him that, you know, when the sale happens, Vince is still in charge. The sale was never going to happen without Vince. I was never going to do this without Vince McMahon on board. So now that Vince McMahon's on board, Ari is Vince's boss. Now Ari is knighting Triple H, and more dirt is poured on top of Vince McMahon, and Endeavor knows that Vince McMahon is a fucking liability where he could ruin all of their reputation because of his previous problems. And this was public knowledge. They outwardly admitted that to the general public. Sounds like this man's being set up for a removal. I love to see it. Fuck him. Can't stand him. But there's a reason why Vince couldn't do what he wanted to do, and if he did, it would be very blatant as to what he was doing, so he tried his best to hide it. Now, regarding Vince being out for good, unanimously there was, and I'll believe it when I see it approach, which I don't believe the people that felt that. That was from the talent and staff. WWE, in an official capacity, were adamant after McMahon's initial retirement that he would not be returning. Yeah, sure thing. Sure thing the man wasn't returning. We all knew exactly what was going to happen. It was a short-lived victory. Fightful had long heard that Endeavor looked upon Triple H fondly. Morale has been boosted over the last couple of weeks. Starting with the September 25th episode of Raw, numerous WWE talent reached out to us after stories emerged today expressing the same sentiment. Watch the show. You see that the show is different. Johnny Gargano's back. Tommaso Ciampa's on TV in a prominent role. DIY's back together. Bronson Reed's winning matches. We got Tegan Nox on consecutive shows. Xia Li showed up on Monday Night Raw. So on and so forth. Ricochet is getting a prominent role on TV. Shinsuke Nakamura wrestled Rollins for the World Championship twice. And they put a lot of effort into making him a credible heel. Gunther, Imperium, Drew McIntyre's heel turn, Chad Gable and his rise to the Intercontinental Championship. Jey Uso, the story on Raw. Raw feels like a 3-hour NXT show. And I know I'm missing some things. Dragon Lee on television. He got called up from the main roster. They didn't even fucking bat an eyelash calling him up. They paired him with Cameron Grimes, who was not seeing TV time. Karrion Kross is rumored for a major push on WWE TV. Grayson Waller and Austin Theory are being paired together. LA Knight is the biggest babyface in the company. Carlito was brought back. He was signed since June. Where the fuck was he? All of these things would not have happened if Vince McMahon is there. There is a changing of the guard. Something's going on. There's a different wind blowing in WWE creative. All of these things are not happening at the same fucking time without Triple H. They're not. These things are not happening with Vince McMahon in charge. All of these things happening at the same time should tell you that things are changing for the better. And if you don't like them, go take a walk. Go watch something else. I love it. One WWE talent said that their feeling was that most people on the roster felt a sense of relief when Vince McMahon retired from both a morale and creative standpoint. They said that answering for Vince McMahon's behavior isn't what most of them signed up for, and beyond that, there wasn't a lot of creative confidence in him. If the roster is feeling that way, imagine how the fucking fans are feeling about the situation. This is great news. I don't want to say it is what it is, but I genuinely feel... I've been right about a lot of Vince McMahon shit this entire time. Going back to when he killed NXT Black and Gold, I've been right about it all. I would not be shocked if this man is being forced out, if there's some fucking scheme to get him out of there. Yeah, he sold the company. Yeah, he thinks Ari is a great business partner. Yeah, 51%. Yeah, I can run WWE. Meanwhile, he told him all of this before the sale, and now the sale happens, and Ari knighted Triple H to run creative when Vince thought he was going to get that power back because he sold the company and he got in bed with Ari, who he's known for 22 years or so, and he sold the company to someone that he's known professionally for 20 years? I mean, come on, man. Something fishy's going on here. Something is going on. And whatever it is, man, hand me a fucking line, hand me a reel, and let me go fishing. I love it. Absolutely love it. I will continue to monitor this story, but as of right now, we got pay-per-views. PLEs are some of the best that WWE's put on in over a decade. So PLE has changed. You could see Triple H's influence on the PLEs. 5-6 matches tops. They don't exceed 3.5 hours. He's definitely taking a takeover approach with the PLEs. Everything on Raw has been great. SmackDown's a little bit more simplified. I hope that SmackDown follows suit and starts giving us the type of show that Raw has been giving us. Raw's been the best television show that they put on. And I'm comparing that to NXT and SmackDown. It's the best weekly show that they do. And that's a lot coming from me because in my entire podcasting career, I've fucking blasted Monday Night Raw more times than I care to remember. This is great news. If Triple H is really knighted, good. I genuinely believe that something's going on. There's some internal drama going on where they're trying to remove Vince McMahon and they're doing it very subtly. It's great shit. Moving on. Brian Pillman Jr. is getting a name change on NXT TV. He will no longer go by Brian Pillman Jr. Now, WWE has set up his debut. The company has showed him sitting in his living room watching old clips that are a mix of footage from WCW with links to his father and clips of various WWE superstars over the years. However, when Pillman makes his debut, he will not be referenced as Brian Pillman Jr. Now, the report states that WWE recently filed for a trademark for the name Lexus King. This is going to be his new name going forward as he makes his debut on WWE television. A lot of people were upset about this. It sounds feminine. It sounds like a woman, a female wrestler. Now, if you really do some research and find out what the fucking meaning of the name is and why he chose this name, it is important to him. Lexus is short for Alexis, the name of Pillman's sister who passed away. The King part of the name is the name of his late mother, Melanie, after she remarried Brian Pillman. So I don't really understand what the problem is. I don't really get it. So we got Alexis, which is paying homage to his sister who passed away, and King, he is paying homage to Melanie, his late mother, after she remarried after Brian Pillman's passing. And then everybody wants to it sucks. Oh, it's not good. It doesn't sound good. We said the same thing about Finn Balor. We said the same thing about fucking Gunther. I know, because I was one of them. And now nobody has a problem with Gunther. Nobody has a problem with Gunther's name, right? So we'll get over this. We'll cry, we'll bitch, we'll moan, we'll complain for about a couple of weeks, and then we'll all get over it. It's all about the way he's booked on television. That's it. That's it. And you listen, this is the most important part of it. The most important part of it. This is why I like this. He's not using his father's legacy to carry on his own career. He's moving away from that and building his own legacy with his own name. I mean, if you can't appreciate that and respect that, I mean, I don't know what the fuck you're doing, man. It's easy for him to do that. This is why Ted DiBiase Jr. failed, because there was absolutely no way he was going to live up to Ted DiBiase Sr. Bray Wyatt could have easily followed his fucking father. IRS was great. Bray Wyatt did his own thing. And Bray Wyatt ended up being great in his own way. He didn't need to follow in the footsteps of his father. He didn't need to use the last name of his father. Bray Wyatt, his own man, right? Charlotte Flair, it's something that I pick with Charlotte Flair. She's basically riding her father's coattails to some fucking fabricated legacy. It's easy to do that when your father's Ric fucking Flair. This is why I appreciate and respect what Brian Pillman Jr. is doing. Lexis King is going to be his legacy. And that's all that should be, or matter. That's the only thing that should be important here and matter to the fans, honestly. Get over it. And finally, guys, an NXT tag team is finally set free as of this week. They will no longer be with WWE. The Dyad, Rip Fowler and Jagger Reed. Give me a break. Zach Gibson and James Drake. The grizzled young veterans. Fuck the Dyad. Schism. What a terrible group. Earlier this year, they had asked to be let out of their deals with WWE, but the company denied their request. They decided to stay around until after their deals were up. During that time, WWE used them on television in a storyline with the Creeds before being written off television. Last month, it was reported that they were gone, but PW Insider and Fightful Select reports they will be leaving this weekend as their contracts are up on October 14th. Now, the rumor is that they will work out of the United States and work the U.S. and Europe, and they will remain based out of the United States going forward. Good. They could show up in AEW and kill it. First of all, Zach Gibson needs to grow his beard out because what the fuck they did to him by altering his appearance was terrible. He was never the same guy. So AEW is obviously a potential. I could see them go to Impact. I could see them go and do New Japan if they want. I mean, the world is their oyster now. They could do whatever the fuck they want. Some people might not like them because they came from NXT UK and that style doesn't necessarily translate to the main roster. And, you know, the gimmick and the charisma and the presentation wasn't really something that you liked. I know they had their detractors, but they were incredibly over where they came from. NXT UK, they had some fucking bangers with Tyler Bate and Trent Seven, man. So I know the work that these guys are capable of, and any locker room in any tag team division will be lucky to have them when they get back to doing what they should do. Grizzled young veterans will find work. It will be easy for them to find work, and they are going to kill it. They have been handcuffed for way too long with shit creative and a terrible gimmick. This is the day that they waited for, man, and they are fucking seething, foaming at the mouth to get back out there and do what they were doing because, in all honesty, WWE failed them. They should have been on the main roster. They should have been the grizzled young veterans. They should have been what the Bar were on the main roster. One of the best tag teams that WWE had. They ruined them purposefully to change them into the fucking Schism and the Dyad. WWE Creative, sometimes when they fuck up, nobody is as bad as WWE Creative. This was one of the worst ever. Grizzled young veterans will be fine, and I can't wait to see what they do. Guys, I'm getting out of here. Thank you so very much for all your support. If you enjoyed the extra today, please hit that thumbs up. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on the bell for all notifications. And make sure you guys go out and check all the other content on the channel, including my Monday Night Raw review from last night and anything else you might have missed last week. I also have a second channel, if you guys don't know, with non-wrestling related content. Link is down below in the description. Go and check that out. And I will see you guys tonight with Jesse. It is Title Tuesday, AEW Dynamite, going head-to-head with NXT. It should be a banger night. I will be live after Dynamite with Jesse to talk about everything AEW related. Until then, guys, have a great Tuesday, and I'll see you back tonight live with Jesse right here on Off the Script. I'll see you guys later.